This is our day. No one can stop your level. Step up and take your place. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Face Behind the Dream. I'm your host, Yvette Morales, and before we get started, I actually want to introduce who I'm going to have today, but this episode is going to actually be concerned about children's well-being and overall mental health, which I'm actually really excited about, not only because of that, but the inspiration and aspiration that comes behind it. So today I have Dominique Williams from Get Fit Fire 8, Coach D, as I'm going to refer to the rest of the episode, but she is the founder of Get Fit Fire 8 and the Athlete Project, which I'm going to ask more questions about later. But she is in like this long life strive of finding or informing us about mental health and its impact on athletes. So, Coach D, thank you so much for being here.
Bless.
I actually just want to know who you are.
I'm a being, a child of God. I think I'm like every other human, just out here, not only looking to inspire, but more so be inspired. My work is inspired by my life, being able to, turn my pain into passion and purpose.
Pain, passion, and purpose. I actually like that. Triple P.
Mm-hmm. That's me.
Triple P, that's me. It even rhymes. Okay. I've noticed your hat with the 533. What does that represent?
Well, first I got to shout out the squad. 533 is a breath meditation for energy and focus. So often when we look at mindfulness and mental wellness, it doesn't look like this. It doesn't look urban, it doesn't look black, it doesn't look woman, it doesn't look loud, and it doesn't look sport. And so I've been wearing fitteds since before the towers dropped. We won't talk about how old I am. But, for me...
It's our little secret.
Yeah. For me, it's about how do I create an aesthetic for not only who I am, but for the people that I serve. And that way we can create this sort of like synergy between not only, if we can promote music and athletic teams, then why not promote something that everyone can use and be empowered by?
Yeah, I think that should be, or it should be a mandatory like part of wellness, because we influence everything about, you have to be healthy, you have to do this, you have to do, but not mental health. I feel like we're missing that part, and that's really a large part of a lot of our issues. Mental health awareness actually allows people to be better or do better. Yeah. So why wouldn't we want to be better? It's a concept.
Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, I think a lot of people are comfortable, right?
I do too.
Better requires accountability, right? And ABC, right? And so people are comfortable, which belies their ability to be accountable. It's just like in the game, right? Coaches will say all the time, we need a loss because losing helps you learn. Yeah. But if you ask most people, they're like, nah, I'm not setting up to lose. Yeah. And so mental health, we miss it because health is the state of, right? And like our physical health, those strongholds, they don't always last. No. Right? And so that's, my slogan, mental toughness is not mental health. Because coaches will tell you all day, be tough, be tough. But unfortunately, toughness does not cure depression.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't at all. And so, we get to shift and we get to evolve.
I actually think it's masking. It's a lot of masking going on. But anyway, that's for another day.
Girl.
Anyway, so 533 is meditation breathing. Now, what made you want to create this in the first place?
I was on 146th Street. I was coming from work. I had just gotten some news that the girlfriend that I was with at that time was seeing somebody else. I was thinking about my mom, who had passed away several years before. I remember dropping to my knees, tears spewing out of my eyes, and this white guy was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm looking up at him, and I didn't understand what was going on. And when I got on the train, I went to 145th Street and St. Nicholas Avenue. I had realized that I had an anxiety attack. Oh. In the middle of the street. And I was so upset because this was one of the first times in my life that I felt extremely helpless. Okay. And I understood in that moment that my anger, because I used to get mad, right? Like, I'm tough. I'll be all right. I'm good. And that was the first time in my life that wasn't gonna work.
It's not happening.
It's not gonna work. I miss my mom. I feel alone. And in this moment, I don't know what my body is experiencing. There was a complete disconnect.
Okay.
And I remember my mother, you know, she was a chronic asthmatic. And it's funny because, you know, the best of all teachers teach what they themselves must learn.
Yes.
And so she always would say, Neek, just breathe. Baby, just breathe. And I was like, in that moment, that's the only thing that revived me. And as you know, anxiety attacks usually last for 10 minutes at most. But in the midst of that 10 minutes, you think you're going to die. And as I said, I just did not know what was going on. But all I could hear was my mother's voice saying, Neek, baby, just breathe. And so after that, I was like, I got to do something with this. I have to not only honor my mother by the way that I live, but I get to live better through her words, whether she's here or not, because her energy lives on.
I remember Just Breathe is actually part of the 533. I did have a pamphlet somewhere. But yeah, I actually have it pinned, and I actually look at that, and it actually does help.
Bless.
So it has helped me. See, look, your mother's helping me.
Yes,
That's amazing. Like
yes.
passing it forward.
Indeed.
All right, so you have this whole gear with wings and the big, like it's a big logo of 533, multiple hats for sale. Like, what made you want to be able to promote it in a material aspect?
I wanted to make it black. I wanted to make it athletic. I wanted to make it sporty. I wanted to make it me. Right?
Yeah.
Like when I talked about your logo, I said, wow, this is really beautiful. It's classic. And you said, all I see is me. And so when I see this hat, that's what I see. I see me.
That's awesome. I like that. It's bold.
Yeah.
And as small as you are, it's very bold.
I'm 6'3".
In your heart.
Yeah, no, you know, in this chair. Look, if you ever plan on building a statue of Coach D, make sure it is 6'3", or I'm coming back to haunt you. I promise.
Okay, we know for now. Don't let her haunt us later. All right, so how do they find your product?
So at Get Fit Fly Right on Instagram, www.getfitflyright.com. Everything is Get Fit Fly Right. Because, you know, the name speaks for itself. I want people to get fit so they fly right. When we think of survival of the fittest, it comes from the understanding of birds, right? And so when a mother has a crew of birds, you know, the ones that fly out first are the ones that are most fit to survive.
I understand.
And so I kind of feel like that. You know, my mom and my dad passed away by the time I was 22.
Okay.
And so for me and my sister, we had to fly out the nest. And we had to be fit to survive without our parents. And so, yeah, Get Fit, Fly Right, it's in the name. You know, my goal, again, is to create services, products, themes, spaces where people are not only getting fit, right, mentally tough, but they have the ability in every aspect and every way to fly right and thrive.
Okay, so really quick, I know that you go to a lot of events and, you know, you present this to a lot of coaches, athletes, just overall a bunch of people. What was that one moment for you that you were like, this is really a thing? What was that? Where was that? What was it like? Oh, she's hugging herself.
I got to. You know, like Stevie Wonder when he's like, I shout out to Ladies Who Hoop and Amber Blatcher, the mayor of New York. That was the one there are definitely a plethora of moments, but that one moment where I could say, yeah, this is it. I know that this is in my purpose. And kind of away from the sideline too, which was a little unnerving, but that's another story for another day. She had an event right after the pandemic and people were coming out, and she was allowing her future Ladies Who Hoop young ladies to do a tournament, and it was just so dope to see all these young ladies, the parents, the community involved. And I did a talk on 533.
Okay.
And the kids, they got it like that instantly. And I was like, whew. And then I had another young lady come up to me like, thanks, coach. I'm going to breathe fast and I'm going to breathe loud. And I was just like, my heart was like overwhelmed with joy in a way that I've never experienced before. Mm-hmm. No 3-point shot, no winning game, no trophy, no date. None of that compared in comparison to this child telling me that they just wanted to breathe.
Yeah.
It did two things in that moment. One, it really solidified for me that I get to do more than just speak truth to power, but really own my voice with volition. And the second thing it did is it showed me that it keeps my mother's story alive.
It does. It really does. And not just alive for you, but for others.
For others. Yeah.
She's still impacting people, even
Indeed.
not presently being here.
Indeed.
And that's amazing. Yeah. I actually hope I get to do that. You know?
Legacy.
Yes. Honestly, what else do we have after that? Okay, so before we close out, I do have to ask you one question. So what would you tell your younger self as like some point of advice to help you today?
I would say keep going. Don't stop. Don't ever stop.
That's really good advice. Now, may I ask why that would be the advice?
So often when we can't see the end of the tunnel, we want to turn back around. And there have been many points in my life where I've just wanted to turn around. And for whatever reason, I couldn't. And so I would tell her, you know, it may look bleak right now, but don't stop. And that's through all of it, you know. If it wasn't for my pain, my story, if it wasn't for a lot of the defeats I endured, I wouldn't be able to triumph today. And so it's so important that we go through even when we can't see, right? Walking by faith. It means to keep going.
Yeah, it does.
Don't stop.
Thank you so much. Well, we're going to keep going. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for being so open about talking, you know, about your mother and, you know, realizing that your pain actually created triumph for you. So I do want to end this saying that I can't wait because we're going to have exciting moments because I'm ready to give you your challenge, and then you have to challenge me about 533 and your athlete project. So I'm really excited, but do you think you're going to win this challenge?
I'm going to do my best.
You're going to do your best? Okay. I guess the challenge is going to really test your basketball knowledge. So don't go anywhere. So we are back for the challenge section, and I'm extremely excited because I hope I win. But anyway, this one's actually called Who Is This? So what you're going to have to do is name the person that I give you 4 identifiers for, and you're going to have 2 chances.
All right, cool.
You ready?
Yep.
All right.
Stay ready.
You stay ready.
So I ain't got to
That's
get
all.
ready.
Exactly. That's how you're always ready. All right. First person, he left the NBA at 42 years old, played 20 seasons in the NBA for Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Oh, you got it before all 4.
Yeah.
Look at that. See? Yeah. She was super nervous too.
Oh.
All of you guys knew. All right. Second one, NBA Rookie of the Year in 1986. Named one of the 50 greatest players in NBA history. That narrows it down a little bit. A key figure for the New York Knicks, leading points, rebounds, blocks, and steals.
Bernard King.
No. That's 1. And last but not least is tagged as Hoya Destroya.
Oh, Patrick Ewing.
There you go. Ding, 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 ding. All right. Next is selected by the Pacers with the 11th pick in the first round in 1987, which was a great year, by the way, in the NBA draft.
Way to smooth that out.
An Indiana Pacer for his full 18 years of NBA basketball career. A record of 8 points in 9 seconds within the Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Knicks.
Reggie Miller.
Oh, you look, see? Look, and she thought she was
Girl,
good
I remember
enough.
that game. It hurt my heart. Okay.
How did it hurt your heart?
Because I'm a Knicks fan.
Oh, and you, so he,
I was so mad at Spike Lee for taunting that man. Oh, man.
wait, I'm so lost. What happened with Spike?
Spike kept taunting him, and that's why he did that.
It was Spike's fault?
Yes.
We gonna put that?
Yes, it was Spike. Look, you don't poke the bear.
No, you don't.
And
not in the semifinals.
Spike Lee kept poking Reggie Miller. And it's the infamous choke that Reggie did.
Were you watching this at home?
Yes, I was watching it at home. My mother and sister were looking at me like I was crazy, and I cried. Look, on to the next question.
Well, you know what? You know in ball his life when you're crying.
Girl.
The Knicks lost. Well, I could say you're definitely a diehard Knicks fan.
Yeah, I cried a few times because of them.
Okay. Oh, gosh. Okay. So, next question. A 3-time WNBA champion, a 4 Olympic gold medalist, a Seattle Storm point guard for their entire career, and the only WNBA player to win titles in 3 different decades.
Super.
There you go. Look at that. We got WNBA representing in here.
Squad.
Great. Squad. All right. So this is the last one. Obviously, I already lost.
All right.
But it's gonna be a good one. In 2012, the 3-time All-American was named the AP Player of the Year and the most outstanding player of the Final Four within the WNBA.
All right, read the last 2 again.
No, there's more.
Oh, there is more.
There's more.
'Cause I was like, girl,
But wait, there's more. Okay. In 2013, round 1, first overall pick by the Phoenix Mercury, and the only NCAA basketball player to score 2,000 points and 500 blocks.
Diana Taurasi.
No. Bro,
I have one
ready
more.
ready for the fourth. You're answering it before I give you all 4 points.
Oh, you're right. Patience.
Look. 533. All right. And the last but not least is WNBA career at 6'9".
Oh,
So at least that helps. She's tall.
the only person I could think of that's that tall.
This is not a guess.
I got
Spit
one
it
more,
out there.
right?
Put it
I got
out in the
one
crowd.
more.
Yeah, put it out in the clouds and then filter it. I bet you they're all screaming at you.
The only name that's coming to mind is Lisa Leslie.
No.
Oh, was it?
No. Is that your final guess, though? Because I already said no.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I don't know.
It's Brittany Griner.
Why
It was
I thought she was like 7 feet. The 6'9" threw me. I promise you, I swear she was taller than that.
Maybe on paper. You know how they always add that inch.
You right.
So maybe that's what Wikipedia says.
Yeah, no, that was a really good one because that was a really really good.
You had to wait till all the way to the end to start guessing, at least.
Yeah.
So everyone else, you were cutting me off. I was like, gosh darn it.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Because I knew.
You were excited.
That one I didn't know.
It's okay. But you actually won this challenge. Now I am ready for you to teach me your technique in order for me to implement in my life and teach obviously the audience of your 533 and talk about your athlete project.
Awesome. Well, I think after that, I definitely think a breath is necessary.
It is. So guys, don't go anywhere because we're gonna put it all together and see you soon. Okay, we are back for you to challenge me. So guest challenge host. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So your athlete project, what is it exactly?
So the athlete project is a mental hygiene system specifically for performers.
Okay, before you go, mental hygiene
System.
It's a whole system that talks about hygiene or talks about mental hygiene. What is mental hygiene?
So basically, it is a system for mental hygiene, right? So every day you get up, you brush your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a system to that. There's a cadence to that. You get your toothbrush, you got your toothpaste, you put the paste on the brush, you brush back and forth. You don't go too hard because it can damage some things. And so every morning you do this system for your dental hygiene. Mm-hmm. And so the athlete project, or also known as TAP, is that type of system for your mind.
Okay.
Really wanting to meet people where they're at, right? Sometimes mindfulness can seem very overwhelming or seem very challenging for people to do. And so the athlete project is really about creating a project, a system for people where they can be met where they are to then develop this kind of a system that normalizes mental wellness for themselves.
Okay, so can you give me an example of what that would be like?
Sure. So 533, right? I let people know, like most of my friends know, don't call me before 10 o'clock. I mean, you can call me, but I'm not going to pick up.
Okay.
And the reason
Note
is
to self.
and the reason is because I like to meet myself before I meet the world. And so just like most people will take that 10 minutes to brush their teeth and scrape their tongue and gargle, I do the same for my mind with breathing.
Well, when I wake up, it's a whole different thing. I have like a whole dance party. I'm very lively when I wake up. Like, yeah, the day started, and I start. It's like a party. It's a whole party. So yeah. Well, let's go on your meditation, but keep going.
But no, I think that that's great, right? Like, I think for everybody, it gets to look different, right? Like, everybody brushes their teeth, but the way in which they do it, it looks different for everyone. You know, I know someone that when they get up, they like to pray. I know other people, like my grandmother, when she used to get up, she would talk. She would have she would say, I'm having my conversation with God. You know, and other people, when they get up, some people like to make their bed or, you know, whatever that system is, not grab your phone. But an activity rather that allows you to just get into your space and get grounded and really prepare your mind and energy for the day before your body gets there.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I think that the day, if I don't have time to do my whole dance party, is all downhill. Like, my energy's all up. I feel like, you know, me having this little vibe in the morning actually helps me throughout my day, because I'm like, oh, I'm already in a happy mood, so like whatever is it coming at me, it's like whatever, okay.
Right. But see, that is a system to maintain peace, right? And so in order to get to a position where we can choose peace easily, we have to then create this system where we are now like saying, okay, what do I need? What is going to get me prepared so that regardless of what happens, I can always choose peace.
Yeah.
Right? Regardless of what happens, my breath don't stink, so I'm going to talk my, you know what I mean? I'm going to talk my talk.
Yeah.
Because I brushed my teeth this morning.
I'm cool with it.
Right? You feel me? But if I don't brush my teeth, I'm going to be a little less likely to be like, hey, girl.
Yeah, let's not.
I'm going to be over here like, because I'm not prepared to meet the world. Right? And we understand that with our dental health. The implications it can have on our social atmosphere as well as our physical being.
Yeah.
And so the goal with mental hygiene, right? And we change the word, we shift the perspective. I now understand that mental hygiene is something that gets to get practiced daily with intention. The same way I brush my teeth and I attend to my dental hygiene, I can then attend to my mental hygiene as well.
You know, that's something that when you first said it, I was like, what does that even mean? So I had to like have you break that down, because you automatically assume hygiene. Yeah. I'm like, mental showers?
Yes, that is exactly what it is. Imagine if everyone took a mental shower in the morning. Imagine.
Without you explaining, for me, it was literally like
Stick your
like
brain.
thinking while I'm in the shower. I wasn't thinking of like cleansing my mind. I was thinking of like, what are you teaching me a system on thinking about taking showers?
Oh, okay. No,
So
I
it was
definitely
like,
see what you're saying.
yeah, so it was a little bit confusing. So I had to ask, like, what does that actually mean? But anyway, no, I do think that, you know, having that clear mind and setting yourself up for your day actually matters. Yeah. How you wake up matters. Like, waking up for me in the morning and I'm in a rush or I'm already late, that's already a bad start. Like, I'm already thinking, and I'm going to be late to this, and this is going to take forever, and, you know, it just starts going downhill, and that's the way you're thinking, and then because you're thinking that way, everything else is just bad. Yeah. But, like, if you wake up and you have that time to, like, reflect, like, it's actually not that bad. Like, when I am running late, it's actually not that bad. I might be, like, 5 minutes late. There's a 5-minute grace period. I'm not going to stress over that. You actually might get a green light where it usually takes, like, 3 minutes. It cuts off that 5 minutes that you're late. But you know what I mean.
No, really.
So I understand that. So now that you have this athlete project and you're starting you're doing 533, show me what it is.
Sure. And so, as I said earlier, 533 is a breath meditation for energy and focus. Again, I want to meet people where they're at with something simple. For a lot of people, stillness is very hard to achieve.
For me.
And so 533 is that gateway, if you will. If you're focused and concentrated on breath, then as your body is going through its motions, you're able to be present in that, but allow it to happen.
Okay.
Right? And so that's what we're going to do. 533. So 5 deep breaths. We want to engage the mind. 3 fast breaths. We want to engage the core.
3
right?
fast.
Athletes, we got to move. It's visceral for us. And then loud. Loud is that emotional component. You ever got fouled and the ref didn't call it?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, yeah. That's a release of energy. Or on the flip side, when you're with your coach and you have a player that does something really good on the floor defensively and everyone's cheering. That is how we express ourselves with that loud breath.
Oh.
And so we put that together. When I think about basketball players, when I think about myself as a coach, I'm very loud. But then there are times where I just have to take a deep breath when I can't get this tech because I know this ref been on me, and I know if I say something, it's gonna hurt my team.
So, from a coach's perspective, it's actually helped you
Yes.
from getting kicked out of games.
Yes. Immensely. Because again, it now makes me accountable for the way I see the world. Right? Like as you said earlier, if I know that I can, just have a good day and choose to have a good day, that green light will come. You're now putting out this energetic force field that's now enabling you to be within the world in a better way and really engage with the world with your lens already in a space of peace.
Yeah. And it does matter. Okay, so 5 deep, 3 fast, 3 loud.
Yep.
We got this.
We got this. So what we're going to do is we're not going to do the whole meditation, but I'm going to guide you through each breath.
Okay.
All right? So the one thing that I ask before we get into it is just to get into a comfortable position.
What? Okay.
And now normally, for those of you that are watching when you're at home, preferably you would be in a seated position or your feet would be very flat on the ground. But for today, we're just going to go through the breaths.
I'm very relaxed, though. That
Awesome.
matters.
Yes, it does. It actually does. And so the next thing that I ask is that you have your hands open to give and receive to the space, right? We understand that everything is energy. And, right, like energy is everything on the bench. But it's everything for yourself. And really conditioning people to not only give that energy, but also take the energy.
Oh.
We want to give and receive from the spaces that we're in.
Okay. So I have a question. So in this position, I guess if your feet were flat, it would be more comfortable.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind. I'm going to pass on that question.
Yeah, so you want to relax, just have them, even if they're even if your hands kind of like come in together, that's fine.
Yep.
That's fine.
You were doing it all straight. My fingers were not.
Well, I meditate, so
She's been doing this for a while. My fingers want to grip something.
And that's fine too.
Okay.
And that's fine too. And so we're just going to go through the deep breath. All right. So all I ask is that you release your jaw. And what that means is you make sure your tongue is not on the roof of your mouth.
Okay.
And your teeth are not touching.
Okay.
And then close your eyes. Yes, vulnerability. And we're going to take a deep breath in through our nose. Hold for 2 seconds. And release deeply.
That's actually very calming.
And so that is the deep breath. What we want to achieve with deep breath is full inhalation as well as full exhalation. So often we hold tension in our bodies because we're not fully breathing.
I always thought, you really don't think about breathing. You just do it. So how do you know you're fully doing it?
When your chest comes up and your diaphragm is empty.
How do you know that? You can tell when you're hungry because your stomach growls, but you can't tell.
Well, see, you can. So when we do our deep breathing, right? My chest comes up, my lungs expand. And then when I exhale, my body comes down and comes in.
I always feel like there's a little bit of extra air where I can just
push it out.
Yeah.
Push it out. So let's do it together one more time.
Okay.
We breathe in. Get it full and then push it out. Keep going.
There you go.
There you go, yes.
When I need to inhale.
Right. And so that's exactly how you know. When you reach full exhalation, you will automatically need to inhale. Your body will just do it for you.
Okay.
And then on to the fast breath. And this is the breath that's most in particular to my athletes.
Okay.
Right? I want us to be able to engage the body in a way that allows us to still be meditative, but then still be in movement.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is we're going to think of push and pull. I want you to pull the air in, and then we're going to push it out, almost like a like a cough. Okay. All right? So we're going to pull it in very quickly.
Oh, I was waiting for an example. No, keep going. Okay.
All right?
Yep.
And then we can do it together, pulling the air in and push it out. And you would do that 3 times.
Huh. Still feeling like I'm meditating, so it's nice.
Indeed. And that is the point. Where we want to, as I said, we want to meet people where they're at. In the Western world, meditation is not easy. In the West, we're always on a wheel. And so if we can have a practice that engages us while we're on that wheel to help us get off, it's almost like a nicotine patch for stillness. It's like, I'm going to give you a little bit of movement.
Help me.
But just enough so you can stay still.
Okay.
Right? And then lastly is the loud breath. and this is my favorite. I would go to different spaces, and I just didn't feel a part of it all. I felt too loud, right? As an athlete, I would get it. I felt meditative. I'm excited. I'm like, yeah, and then like, oh shit, namaste. I'm like, oh, okay. And I wanted to really create something for athletes that athletes could do on the court, as well as coaches, and do it and engage their athletes on wellness because they're an example of it, not just because they're telling them to do it. And so that's what that loud breath is. It's in the same cadence as the fast breath, except pushing, we're not going to push. We're just going to release loudly, whatever it is, whatever it is.
This might be embarrassing.
Yes. And that honestly, I'm glad that you said that, because that's the key, right? When we choose peace, we're choosing it regardless of whatever is going on, right? Because we're not in the future, which is anxiety. We're not in the past, which is depression. We're present in this moment, right? And so if I have the strength to be vulnerable enough to allow my whole self to be seen, now I can walk into any situation more confident than ever. And it's not the basketball, it's not the stats, it's just my being that gives me this sense of being and this sense of confidence. So yeah, it is kind of embarrassing, and necessarily so.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Usually, I think this is done in private. So you're welcome for doing this not in private.
Yes. So ironically enough, how I started this before we get into the loud breath was with my team.
Gotcha.
I would make us stand in a circle, and we breathe together.
Be vulnerable together.
Yeah, because
Makes
here's
sense.
the thing, regardless of the star player or the weakest player or the whoever, we're all human. And when we're able to connect on that level, there is no set of competition that is going to knock us down, be it individually or collectively.
Very true.
All right?
All right, let's
Are we
be
ready?
vulnerable.
All right, yes, let's get vulnerable. I like that. I like that. So we're going to put our hands back. We're still in our relaxed positions, and then our loud breath is as so. We're going to pull it in and let it out.
Okay.
You ready?
Yep. Might sound like I'm just about to get out of bed, but I'm ready.
That's fine. And when you're ready, deep breath in and loudly exhale. And then you would do 2 calming breaths to bring you back.
To bring it all together. Makes sense. Thank you, because I'm actually going to use that now.
Bless.
I want to make sure I remember. 5 deep, 3 fast, 3 loud.
Yep. And the deep is for,
Mind.
the fast is for your body,
Okay.
and the loud is for your heart.
I care about the loud more. She did
That's,
that, and
that's
I was
why
like,
it's
oh.
my favorite. But yeah, right, when we talk about mind-body connection, we have to meet people where they're at. Right? And for athletes, they're always on the go. They're always on the move.
Yeah,
Right?
and it's very true. We're actually, athletes are always told to go,
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Never to,
Stop. And so this
Interesting.
allows you to be still. You don't have to stop, but you get to take a moment and just breathe.
again, thank you so much. I actually learned a lot that I'm going to implement in 2022, you know, whatever people are doing nowadays, because with COVID and everything, people are staying home. So yes, you know what I mean. But thank you so much. Again, where can they find you?
Sure. So people can find me at Get Fit Fly Right. My name is Coach D. And so if you are interested in the Athlete Project or Get Fit Fly Right and its services, you can find us at www.getfitflyright.com.
Again, it's your host, Yvette Morales with Face Behind the Dream. And this is a lesson learned. Just breathe.